Dear students, today I am Komal Mishra taking up the topic Ethics and Safety Measures in Computing. This is part 1 of the topic. Let's see what's there in your syllabus, what I will be covering in part 1. Internet, advantages and disadvantages of Internet, and what we mean by ethics in computing. Okay? So now first of all, let us see some things about internet. You all know that internet is a global network of communication. Means worldwide we are communicating with each other, we are sharing, we are transmitting data, we are sharing data through internet. So the first and foremost purpose of internet is to share and transmit information. To share and transmit information. This is first and foremost purpose of internet. And while sharing and transmitting information, we should take care of certain things. There should be we should follow certain rules. We should follow certain procedures, and these rules and procedures are actually made because to secure ourselves only. It's not for the security of others, it's for the security of ourselves. And the organization and the company which is providing us internet is known as ISP, Internet Service Provider. Internet Service Provider, ISP. So now moving on, so to the next part, that is what are the advantages of using internet. So first and primary advantage, why we use internet, because it is the medium by which we can access to any information. It is a source of free information. We can get information related job vacancies. We can get information related to any current affair. We can get information related to any sort of incidents, any sorts of medicines. If we want to get information, so whatever area, in whatever area we want to take the information, we can get it using internet. Okay. The next advantages is e-commerce. Next is e-commerce. Now what does e-commerce stands for? E-commerce stands for electronic communication. Electronic communication. Now what is electronic communication? Any sort of business activity performed on the internet, that is known as electronic commerce. Sites like Amazon, Flipkart, these all sites are selling things. They are doing business. So these are e-commerce sites. In the same way, the sites which are selling things, like suppose which are OLX, which are purchasing things from us, these are also e-commerce sites. So basically we are using these sites for online shopping, to purchase online items. So that is why another advantage is e-commerce. Now coming to the third advantage is entertainment. We can play, we can listen to music, we can watch movies, we can do many types of, we can use any type of entertainment aids using internet. Next, fourth one is social networking. Now, social networking is basically used for getting connected to people all around the world, the people with whom you know. So it's basically used to connect with old friends, with our families, with the person who are away from their families can get connected through social networks. They can get connected to their relatives. So social networking is the next advantage. Many sort of social networking sites are there. Facebook, Twitter, all these type of LinkedIn. So these are the social networking sites. By these sites, you can get connected to the people, to the known peoples. Either it is your friend, family, or relative. Next is online education. So now this thing is the most practical thing right now. Today, I'm teaching you this topic via internet only. You will be seeing this video through internet only. So this is one of the practical example I can give for online education. Next is communication. Now what we mean by communication? To send and to receive messages. Now this can be done through emails. Basically, many of our private company employees right now, in whichever scenario we are, they are communicating, they are doing their work from home through these emails only. They are communicating with their juniors, with their colleagues, with their heads through these emails only. They are in connection with them through video conferencing, through audio calls. So all these come under communication. All this come under communication. Next is online banking. You can do various type of transactions using the app of your bank which you are using for you can do any type of transactions. You can credit money to anyone's account, whoever required. You can break FDs, you can make FDs, you can make RDs, you can break RDs according to your requirement. In this case, you need an ID and password, and everything is done by sitting at home. There is no need to go to your bank. Next is mobile wallet. Now, mobile wallet is digital money. Means you don't have money physically. You are not able to go to ATM for taking out the money. Then you can use these mobile wallets for giving money to different vendors or to the one who wants it. Using these mobile wallets. This is a digital money. This is not available physically in your hand. This is digital money. So you can give it digitally to that person. He will also receive that digital money and can use for purchase or for transactions further digitally only. It will not be available physically. Okay. So these are mobile wallets. Example like Paytm is there, Google Pay is there. All these are mobile wallet. This also you can use using internet. Next is internet marketing. Means you can promote your brands, you can promote your products using internet by sending mails, by flashing ads on the sites or on some popular sites, or you can by sending emails, by sending mails to the person, to all the people who are using internet. So you can promote your brands by email, by various type of, by mobile advertising. All this comes by blogging. They have given what all types of internet marketing is there. Email marketing, blogging. Then you have mobile advertising. All these come, social networks, web marketing. All these are means of internet marketing. Next, you are having online reservation. Now you can book, you can cancel your tickets. Either it is a rail ticket, air ticket, bus ticket, all sorts of tickets can be done or cancelled using internet, using online reservations sites. Hotel reservations, all these can be done using internet. Okay, now coming to the disadvantage part of internet. Okay, so what are the disadvantages of internet? So first is spam mails. Now what are spam mails? The mails which you usually receive from any organization, any company for their brand endorsement, or from the political parties, the mails which are made for general public. It's not an individual mail, it's not sent individually, but it has a general it's a general mail sent, and it is mostly received in your spam mailbox. It is present in the mail, your mail account, spam mailbox. You can clear those mails after seeing them if it is not of your use, or after 30 days these mails will get removed by themselves. Okay, then comes viruses. Now viruses are the attackers, means they enter into your computer if you work on any wrong site which is not protected with antiviruses. So before going to any site or opening any link, first of all just see whether the link which you are opening is safe, and you are very well aware what are you doing in that case. Okay, if you are having a link which you are not aware of or you have seen for the first time, then don't click on them. Like many links, some links are there, the bank you are getting a mail from your bank side that share your password, we will give you this much money. So don't click on those links. These are viruses which will enter into your computer and can damage your computer, and can also share your personal, can take up your personal photographs, information, and can even your passwords also, can take your passwords. So better is not to click on any links that you see on your web pages if you are not aware of that. Next is theft of personal information. Now theft of personal information means that if suppose you have shared your passwords with someone, then in that case you can face a problem that after that your personal information is being shared or has been stolen from your computer. So better don't share your passwords with your any close ones also, because password is something which can, if someone entered in your account, can make drastic changes in that. So better is keep your password till yourself, don't share it with everyone. Okay, then addiction to social networking means if someone starts working on internet, like the students, like the children around your age, they get into this addiction very fast. Okay, so better is make yourself don't get yourself addicted to any of the networking sites or any of the games. Here it is written addiction to social networking, but I will suggest that don't get addicted to any sort of games also, because this addiction is very harmful. It will destroy your studies, and you will your full time will go on internet. It can damage your eyesight also. So better is not to go for addiction. You should have, you can use internet, but it should be in limited, the usage should be limited. It's not like that from morning till evening you are sitting in front of the computer and just visiting different sort of sites. So better is to be protected in this case. Okay, protect yourself, don't get addicted. Next we will see about what are the ethics in computing. Now what we mean by ethics, we mean that these are some set of values, procedures and practices. Here you can see it is given, it is a set of values, procedures and practices, means what type of rules you should follow, what sort of procedure you should take, what sort of practice you should make, so that you will be able to use internet safely. These ethics are for your safety, not for anyone else. Okay, so if you are following these values, if you are following this procedure, then in that case you will be safe on internet. So don't involve yourself in any sort of unethical activities. Unethical activities we will be discussing in our next video. What type of unethical activities are being performed on internet. So, but what are ethics? Ethics are the set of values, procedures and practices which regulate the use of computer. Means you have to regulate your use of computer by following these values, procedures and practices. So actually what ethics is? Ethics is to decide whatever you are doing on internet, whether it is right or whether it is wrong. This is your personal point of view. Means suppose if you have got anyone's work, personal work done on internet, any research work you have got, now it is upon you that you tell the truth that it is this person, X person's research work, or you publish it with your name. So it is to decide whether what is wrong and what is right. Okay, and then what all types of unethical practices can be followed? Some like abuse, means if you're talking some abusive languages or you are insulting someone on internet. Okay, any sort of computer crime, means doing any type of means stealing someone's password, like these activities come under computer crime. Like in just snooping into some other's computer, so computer files. So you are actually dealing with privacy. Okay, you are dealing with privacy here. Intellectual property means, that's what example I have shared, that if someone else's work is there on computer, so that is that person's property. You cannot name it. That is that person's copyright. Okay, if suppose Office is created by Microsoft, so none of the other company can tell that Office is mine. Okay, so if we are violating these all things, okay, then there is a problem. So better is not to violate privacy, intellectual property. All these things we will discuss in our next video. Okay, so these all are the unethical practices. Okay, these all are the unethical practices. So ethics are the rules which are to be followed when we are using computer, especially the computer with internet. Now these are the commandments, these are given in your book also, that should not use a computer to harm others. Means you should not use a computer to harm others. You should not interfere in some other's work. You should not snoop in some other's file. You should not steal anyone's computer usage, or not steal anyone's other's data. You should not copy any software. You should not use any computer resource without anyone else's permission. So all these are the ethics which were written by Computer Ethics Institute. Okay, so these are the ethics, 10 ethics which have to be followed if you are working on a computer. Okay, understood? So this all was there in today's video. I will be doing part 2 video very soon. I will be uploading it. So in that video we will be discussing about the unethical practices which you should not do while you are using internet. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that your all doubts are now clear, and you will go through the chapter till ethics part, and then we will get back soon with the next part of this video. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe, children.